Hey folks, Quill18 here, and we are about to watch our first replay thanks to the amazing LOL replay application, which, assuming the website comes back up, you can find out more about it at leaguereplays.com. And this is a replay sent in from Jay is Awesome, who of course has been featured in a few of my videos in the past. And he's going to be playing as Renekton, which I'm really excited about because I have never played Renekton. I don't have him unlocked on my account. So it is going to be an interesting and fun learning experience, and we are going to look at this together. I know Jay is Awesome is an excellent League of Legends player, probably sort of mid-elo. So, not at the top of the heap, but certainly nice. Now, I don't know how much experience he's got with Renekton, but we're going to find out. I love these skins, the Jax Karthus skin, very, very cool looking. And I'm going to say, just based on the custom skins, that the purple team here is going to win. Because, wait, is that like... Oh my god, it's the Cardboard Tube Samurai! I guess that's the pack skin. I've never even seen it. How cool is that? Haha! Alright, now. Oh good, I can center with the spacebar. So this is so exciting. So happy. My first full game with the replay. So we've got Nivea going center on our team, and the top is going to be the Karthus-Jax combination, which is going to be interesting. Karthus, of course, very, very good harass, and should be able to help zone people out so that Jax can get a few more last hits. As a melee champion, of course, sometimes he has a hard time getting those last hits in. And at the bottom, we're going to have a Gangplank, who's not going to deny Plank. Unfortunately, there's no way to actually see his build at this point, but I'm going to assume maybe he went Parlay first. He has picked up the Brawler's Gloves to start off with, so it seems like a good choice. And then, yes, Jay is Awesome here. He has started off with the Doran's Shield. Of course, always a very good starting item for a lot of characters, especially one that's slightly more tanky, which I understand that Renekton is. Of course, like so many of the more recent, well, sort of post-release champions that have come out of Riot Games, he is a tanky melee character, which do seem to be fairly strong because they have maybe twice the survivability of a squishy character while only doing maybe 25% less damage or so. So they tend to compare very well. So his passive, his big thing is that he doesn't have mana or energy. Instead, he builds up Fury. Every attack he does gains him 5 Fury. And once he gets 50 or more Fury, his abilities get empowered with new bonuses. Also, when he's low on health, he gains Fury extra fast. So Jay is Awesome started off with Call the Meek as his first ability. It is normally free, but it does cost 50 Fury if he's at above 50 Fury, I believe is the way it works. And when he swings his blade, it deals 60 physical damage to nearby enemies, and he gains 7.5% of the damage as health, which probably will make him a very good laner, despite the fact that he's melee. Because he's going to be able to regain his health pretty quickly if he's hitting a whole lot of things at once. Of course, the concern with something like that is that you might push the lane a little bit too aggressively. You can already see that start to happen here. I'm not sure that... oh, nice double kill there. He's taking a fair bit of damage here, harass from Gangplank. Gangplank's going to be supported by Soraka down here on the bottom lane. Actually, let's take a moment and check the other lanes. We do have a Kennen in the middle, who he's a very good middle champion. Nice range attack, a little bit of skipping and hopping here in the replay, but it seems to be doing okay. And it really does feel, to me, Kennen has to go middle. If you're playing as a Kennen and you don't go mid, you're probably just going to be a detriment to your team. I found we've got a Heimer on the enemy team. I didn't even notice that on the main screen. That is so exciting. Of course, I love me some Heimer. So very much. And looks like we got a big scrap on the middle. Jay is trying to get away. And, wow, a little bit of hop there. I think some of it's lag. We've got him moonwalking a little bit. So we're going to see. This replay tool is a little bit odd, but, yeah. But still better than no replay at all. And hopefully that'll get smoother and smoother. Of course, to a certain extent, I think it's going to be dependent on exactly what the network packets are like. And also, ooh, I have no idea what went in there, but they were trying to tower dive, it looks like. Both Gangplank and Renekton being quite low here. And they definitely have to watch out for those parlays, which are quite brutal. Now, the enemy Gangplank has actually started off with a cloth armor, interestingly enough. That's not a build I'm used to seeing, but I'm thinking is probably going to... How did Soraka get over there? I don't think some of these movements are particularly accurate. So I think that's going to lead him into getting a Madrid's Razor, is going to be my assumption here. We'll see what happens if he picks up the longsword next or not. little surprised that he might not have started with Longsword, just to get a little bit more damage, to make the last hitting a little bit easier, to make the parley harass a little bit better. Especially being supported by the Soraka. You don't need the armor as much, but of course this may just be a normal pickup game, so it's hard to tell if he was aware that he was going to get supported by Soraka or not. Sometimes you buy your items on autopilot. Still, seems a little bit strange, but what the heck. Of course, we can't see the health bars up top, so we don't know exactly what's going on, but Jax is engaging on Heimer. Nothing to come of it, though, just pushes him back. Meanwhile, we do have a missing top. Now, Renekton is regaining his health pretty quickly. Not having to go back is pretty good. Gangplank has picked up a Boots of Speed. I guess he didn't... I don't think he had quite enough for an Avarice Blade. He may not have been intending to rush to it, though. I suspect that'll be his next item, though, unless he decides to complete his boots. I'm curious to see if the Gangplanks are going to be going for the new cooldown reduction boots. I have not played much since that patch, although I did see in a test game that that's actually a recommended item for Gangplank now, and I'm curious to see if people are going to pick it up. It will, of course, let them parlay a lot more, considerably, but I'm not sure how critical that is on a Gangplank. Of course, helps your damage, but being able to parlay more or just ult more. Here comes Anivia from the bushes, tries to engage, but of course they're both on quite high health. Soraka drops a big heal and is trying to get away, manages to sneak around that wall, and oh, if not for that exhaust, was gonna get away. Definitely first blood, but our Gangplank is gonna be in a lot of trouble here, and Kennen comes in and engages as well, and we lose. Oh, Anivia is going to survive this. We do lose the Gangplank, though, and apparently Jax died at top as well at some point. And meanwhile, Heimer is doing a good push at the top, and we have slain an enemy. There's no way to see the health. Oh no, the tower is at half health right now. So that's pretty aggressive pressure. Middle tower is at fine health, and the bottom's taking a little bit of damage, but not too much. So at this point, the score is 3-2, relatively even. Renekton has 2 kills, though, so that is a really, really, really strong start. Oh! Where the hell is everyone teleporting to? Yeah, it'll be nice if that gets smoothed out. We'll see what happens, though, if there may not be a way to do it, if that's just the way the network packets are coming in. There may have been lag going on Jay's Awesome's computer at the time. It's hard to tell exactly what was the cause of everything. Right now, the latency is listed as 48,000 milliseconds, so clearly that's not working. Meanwhile, top is putting a serious hurt on this tower. I don't seem to be able to tell what the health is. If Jay moved his camera down here, we probably would have been able to get a spotter. Still, I suspect that there's probably good damage being applied. We do have a Merc Treads and a Dorn's Blade. Interesting choice, the Merc Treads. There's not a whole lot... Well, there's a Rammus? Oh, Jungle Rammus. Still, there's not a ton of CC. I don't know. I guess between the Blind of Heimer, the Taunt of Rammus, and the Stun of Kennen. Still, I'm not sure if that's necessarily the choice I would have made as Jax in this particular game. The Merc Treads are always good, but you don't want to just take them on autopilot, because they're not always the #1 strongest choice. I guess there's a silence from Soraka too, and I don't usually think of Jax as being a prime target for that, but potentially that could be the case. Merc Treads are never bad anyway, that's for sure. So at this point, most of the characters are level 6 or above. Only Gangplank is still level 5 on the purple team, and we don't know about Rammus because he hasn't really made an appearance outside of the jungle at this point. Oh, he's got 3 creature kills? No, that doesn't update anymore. It used to update the creep kills even when you couldn't see the people, but it gave away some information that people could use to sort of predict your jungle path. So now we're going to have to wait till Rammus pops up to see exactly how he's doing. Although looking at the minion kills is actually a pretty good idea right now. Anivia, of course, being middle, has got a good amount. Her and Kennen are basically keeping pace with each other. Heimerdinger's got a lot of creep kills, but of course he is solo top right now, so that's a big advantage. In fact, I'm going to say the blue team has a big advantage by the fact that they do have a jungle, and it may be a good idea for someone on the purple team to try to get a little bit of jungling done, and I know that Renekton is a potential target for that. A little bit of damage being applied on Heimer there, but no kill. Of course, Heimer is level 9 versus some level 6 champions up here, so it's going to be hard to actually pull off a real kill on him. Meanwhile, the pressure on the mid-bottom tower continues. It's half down. being supported by Soraka means that Gangplank can routinely fire off his shots pretty quickly. Looks like Rammus had come in to get ganked. Sorry about missing that, guys. That's going to be happening a lot. Meanwhile, Jax is trying to get away with the barest sliver of health here. It looks like it's not really updating, but it does look like he has almost nothing. And watch out for those micro rockets, dude. Does get finished off, and that is what you have to worry about with Heimer. You cannot linger too closely because he will micro rocket you for the kill. Of course, Heimerdinger being the best champion in the entire game. So yeah, he's of course being farmed up pretty well. Going solo top is very nice on him. You don't even mind if it's 2 versus 1. Of course, 1 versus 1 you're perfectly happy as well. 2 versus 1 you got to play a little bit more cautiously, but in any case you're going to get a lot of farm off, and you're pretty hard to harass because you've got excellent range and you can harass back with the micro rockets pretty well. Meanwhile, Anivia, once she gets leveled up, she can zone people out pretty effectively, and that's probably what's going to start happening to Kennen here. It's going to be interesting to see if the middle lane stays one-on-one. It'll be interesting to see what the minion kills are going to be like. It looks like Anivia caught up fairly well. Kennen's going to get a couple more here probably, while Anivia is going to buy. Let's take a quick look at the items here. We did lose the top turret again. There's Heimer. Very, very hard to defend against. So Jax at this point still has his Doran's Blade, also a Vampiric Scepter. Still some harass down here. Come on, guys. No one die while I'm here. We've got a Tear of the Goddess, Amplifying Tome as the primary items on Karthus here. So obviously he wants a little bit of mana regen and probably going to build up his AP from then on. It'll be interesting to see what he picks up. Does he decide to go with the what I'm thinking Mijays. What Soul Steal is probably what Riot intended to be. Spelled phonetically, it's a little bit questionable. Looks like that was a terrible waste of an ultimate by Lord Perth, the enemy Gangplank. Very poor choice there, and I think I hear another ultimate going off, but perhaps not. No, there we go, our friendly one. I'm not sure if it's going to result in a kill. Looks like there's good heal going on Gangplank. He is exhausted, taking a whole lot of damage. Our Gangplank's going to be in a little bit of trouble if he decides to shoot him, but no. Looks like they are able to take down enemy Gangplank, and now Soraka's going to be in big, big trouble. Nice use of the ultimate on our side. Karthus dropping his ult. I don't think Soraka is low enough to get the kill. Nope. Survives that just fine. Be interesting to see exactly what kind of health level Heimer is at. Not sure how much Wrath Karthus is doing, because frankly Karthus should be able to zone out Heimer pretty well if he was trying. Is this going to be a nice ambush here? Hammer is at full health, and whoa! Got screen moved after a teleport there. Oh, I think he's going to be able to escape. Does take a damage or 2 there from Karthus' attack. Nice jump in, but Jax is going to die here. Oh, God! He should have dodged that what is it called? Karthus' little bomb thing. I guess I can't click on him from here. Damn it. That button is very easy to dodge if you're paying attention, but looks like he wasn't quite able to do it. I'm not sure he would have been able to survive in any case. And Kennen going in for a kill here. Probably no. The egg is up and dies from the tower. You always have to be careful. You've got to look for that egg buff, or rather the debuff, to see if you can actually get the kill on Anivia. I mean, unless the egg timer just came up and Kennen got caught mid-fight without the ability to tell it was down, but yeah, he's saying, yeah, I didn't mean to get into tower range, and that's true. If he'd been able to stay out of tower range, he would have been able to pop that egg and then run away, so at least keep her on her egg timer debuff. This should be a pretty effective push down the middle. I don't think Soraka has any ability to prevent this push from going on. And excellent choice here by Jay is awesome to help push middle. Perfect timing with Kennen down. There's just not going to be defense. Heimer tries to come to the rescue, but they're going to be able to finish off that tower and get away. No problem. Nice defensive wall just in case, but totally unnecessary. Meanwhile, with everyone out of position in the middle, I think there's going to be a pretty good push up top. You've got to be careful. When you've got DPS champions, ooh, that's... Rammus can do a pretty good job defending those towers because he can taunt and force the tower aggro. Jack's got to watch out here. We've got a teleport coming in. Heimer drops his grenade. It does miss. But yeah, when you've got a DPS hero like Jax, you do have to be careful about leaving those towers around too long. But Jax is not going to be doing that much damage right now because mostly he's got lifesteal and a little bit more from the Doran's Blade. Tiny bit of damage from Doran's Blade, but that's it. Merc Treads don't help his DPS right now either, so he's not going to be getting that many kills necessarily. And I'm almost wondering if this is too defensive a build. Too much lifesteal too early on. The lifesteal is not going to help that much if you don't have the damage to support it. It would make more sense if maybe he was jungling a little bit, but to me it seems like a poor choice of items. Karthus is still going on the same items. Looks like he hasn't gone back to shop in some time, I'm going to say. Another defensive ultimate by our Gangplank here. I think if you're going to do that sort of thing, you want to place it slightly more south, just to force him to take more damage as he runs. Does run the risk that he might try to run past the tower towards you, but I think that that is probably unlikely to happen. Meanwhile, big encounter going on here. I think Rammus is going to go down. Oh, definitely with the Karthus ultimate, and the purple team turns back to see if they can pull off anything here, but no, it looks like no one at the top either. Meanwhile, Anivia is probably going to help zone these guys out quite a bit. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to turn that into a tower kill, but the top should be able to get a tower kill. Oh, I don't know, a level 13 Heimer may be able to fend this off, especially since a couple people are low health, and they are not going to appreciate any micro-rockets that might happen as well. Oh, full health here. Nice heal by Soraka. This tower is not going anywhere. There's a lot of pressure, and there's a decent amount of AoE from Renekton, who is going to go in and take a few swipes on the tower, which is definitely a good idea. He's not forced to stay there too long, and he's going to be backing out. Karthus is teleporting home. It'll be interesting to see what items he decides to build. So we're going to keep an eye on him. He is going for the Magi Soul Stealer, a very popular item on Karthus, you know, who of course is very squishy and wants to play extremely carefully, and then try to get those kill steals where he can with his ultimate. I mean, not necessarily a Colt Stole Steal, but or a kill steal, but definitely get those kills for anyone who's running away. But frankly, if you've got a snowball island like a Magi's, it's actually, in my opinion, perfectly acceptable for you to go to those kill steals. And Jaden Awesome in a lot of trouble here. Nice little dash forward to try to block, to dodge the Powerball, but isn't able to get quite far enough. Does get taunted, survives for quite a long time, and he would be able to escape from Rammus, but in fact, he's going to get away from all of them. Even with the Powerball, oh no, Rammus is going to tower dive. They should be able to get the kill here. No, nice move, nice call the Meek for enough healing for Renekton to survive that. We should take a minute to look at the rest of Renekton's items here. He's got Ruthless Predator, rank 5. You use it, next attack strikes twice, dealing 216 physical damage. So it's at 5 ranks, it's 90 flat plus 150% of his attack disability, and of course does considerably more damage and a longer stun if he has the 50 Fury. Slice and Dice, you deal 45 physical damage, and hitting an enemy grants the ability to use dice for 4 seconds. Oh right, so that's his dash move, and can also yield extra damage after the fact. And his ultimate is Dominus, surrounds himself with dark energy for 15 seconds, gaining 300 health, and while active he deals 50 magic damage to nearby enemies and gains 5 fury every second. That is a considerable amount of damage. In a team fight, you're going to... Now, I don't think it's a very large radius, but this really enables you to be considerably more tanky. Let's see, he's got a second rank in there now. 450 health, that is a lot of health. Excellent magic damage per second. You do not want to really engage him as a group when that's going on. So, it's a lot like, well, obviously there's a lot of similarities, Masses, I would say, with Renekton. I believe they have story elements that are similar, but there's a very strong Egyptian theme going on there. We do lose our purple Gangplank, and I think Anivia may go down here. She does have her egg, if it comes to that. I think she's going to be safely within tower range. Oh! She should not have stopped to cast a spell there. Okay, does go down within tower range. I think she's going to be okay. It's close, though. Just a few pixels south, and they would have been able to do a lot of range damage to her. But I think their Gangplank is going to be forced away. He's just too low level, and they are not going to want to engage here. I said Rammus, but I said Gangplank, but I think I meant Rammus. Maybe Gangplank was down here too. I don't know. I'm curious to see how much kills Heimerdinger has. 129, definitely leading the pack. That is exactly what Heimer needs to do. And he's going to get engaged from behind here by Renekton, who does dash in, slice in. No, but Heimer's going to be able to get away. He's got a lot of items giving him some decent things here. He's got the Giant's Belt. He's almost certainly going to be going for the Riley's Scepter, I believe, which is one of my favorite items here. I feel like, yeah, Anivia just went into egg form to survive some damage, and probably is going to be able to escape here. Yeah, that ultimate from Gangplank is going to do a lot of damage, but it's really going to lead to a kill. And you really want to try to preserve that as much as possible. Looks like Heimer has managed to push Renekton back here. Heimer is such an all-star at this sort of thing. He's got the level advantage, can zone out enemies pretty quickly, harass them very well, and then do the tower damage like that. And he's doing exactly what he needs to do here. He doesn't need to be present for the team fights if he can push a wave like this and be fairly safe. And he can definitely is safe against one-on-one against most people who don't have a lot of CC. Melee champions especially, it's so easy to predict where they're going to be, and you can hit them with that grenade. Even if you don't get off the stun, you are going to blind them, which means you are going to be quite safe and should have plenty of the ability to run away. That only gets much easier once you finish your Riley Scepter, because then you can slow people with both your grenades and your micro rockets, and you're pretty survivable. In fact, if it were possible to get more kills as Heimer, then a Soul Stealer would be an excellent item on him. But you can't. You're not generally going to get that many charges. Later on, you get plenty of assists, of course, which does slowly build up the charges, and as long as you're not dying, it might be worthwhile, but I don't find it to be a very important item to pick up on him, just because it loads up too slow. By the time it's up, ooh, an engagement here on Jax, but I don't think Rammus is high enough level to do anything here. Taunt does go off. Jax is going to be able to escape, dodges the grenade with very little trouble, and is going to be able to pull back. But that's more farm he's not going to be able to get here. Is he... I'm not sure he wants to stick around here. It's just a little too risky. If they happen to run into him, he is definitely going to die. Drinking a health potion. So he's got a bilge water cutlass. So that's what he turned into with his... that's what he created with his Vampiric Scepter. So attack damage, lifesteal, and an active ability to instantly deal 150 damage and slow the target champion. It's not a bad idea. That can definitely be used to help him chase people down, since he does not really have a lot of CC. He does have his leap and sort of a micro stun, but it's not really a dependable form of CC. So being able to slow people down to catch up to them is very valuable. But I'm actually surprised that Jax is not going after the red buff more often. And I think he's going to pick it up now, and that seems to me like this is a key thing to pick up. In fact, I'm going to say that the purple team has sort of been deficient with farming the entire game. I don't think... we haven't seen a single attempt to go after Dragon at any point. I don't know if Rammus or some other member of the blue team ever went after Dragon. It's possible they've gotten some kills. Nice that they're starting off. I don't recall seeing much in the way of warding it, but I have to admit I didn't pay attention to that. Up until this point, we do have a ward top, but at this point it's actually going to be important to make sure that the Baron stays warded, because if the wrong thing happens, if the purple team gets out of position here, it's going to be very easy for the Baron to get captured, actually. And that would be quite poor. Looks like Gangplank is pushing himself well out of position here, although Jax is choosing to initiate onto Heimer, and I'm not sure that's the right decision. Heimer fired enough damage on him to kill him. Fighting within two Gangplank ultimates here, looks like we are going to kill the enemy Gangplank, and now I think that we're going to see a very, very big push, or people are going to run away. I guess Anivia is low health, Jax is fairly low health too, but yeah, pushing this tower is definitely the thing that you want to do. Especially if you've got a good amount of physical damage on the purple team, but now it's been too long. Jax is going to go down. We've got a nice dive here by Renekton, who's draining a lot of health off of everyone. We did get a Karthus ult that goes off. I don't think that snagged any kills, but it certainly weakened people a little bit more, so another kill here. Again, everyone on the purple team is damaged, but this is the time you want to push. There's not really much of a threat on the enemy team. They do have 3 up now, but I think a little bit of damage a little quicker, they could have killed it by now and already run away. At this point, it's getting a little uncomfortably close. Run, back. Oh, Renekton, of course, is able to gain a lot of health here. He's in the middle of so many minions. Yeah, he just gained a considerable amount. And he's definitely going to want to back up, because he doesn't want to get stunned by Kennen or anything, or Rammus to come in with a powerball. Well, Rammus only went down. Heimer is potentially vulnerable here, but I don't think they've got enough of the map presence, although they do know that 2 of the blue team are in the middle. Looks like Renekton's just going to push this wave a little bit more, try to get a few more kills. So 4 out of 5 people on the purple team are above 100 minion kills, whereas only 3 of them on the blue team are. However, Rammus is quite close, and Heimer's made up for that by having a considerable number of kills. So I would say that overall, is there a team total? No. I'm going to say that overall the team total is pretty similar. However, the purple team is leading in team kills considerably, and the advantage is definitely on their side. Of course, you can never discount Heimer's contribution to these sorts of games. He is not usually going to come out with a lot of kills, especially if he's mostly staying in his lane and farming and pushing towers. Indeed, that's the case with the 1-2-1 score. You can see that that's clearly what's going on. And so it can be deceptive, the